Greetings, lords and ladies. I do plan on covering the things that I found interesting or worth covering from the Xbox showing, and I will be releasing a video either later today or tomorrow concerning that. But I wanted to make a brief video about something else, namely the topic I brought up the other day about Owlcat diversifying and making their first AAA game. Now, as I stated in that video, I was legitimately concerned about the future of Owlcat and the direction they were going in, just because we have evidence from other studios doing similar things, and frequently it has led nowhere good, so to speak. However, I decided, on top of the video I made, to basically ask them. So there's an Owlcat server for content creators and what have you, and I decided to just flat out ask them, why not, what the deal is and what the future is looking like with respect to CRPGs and what their plans are. And the answer I received was very, very relieving, to say the very least. It was a fantastic answer, and I think we can all rest well concerning this question. Basically, I flat out asked them, if you continue down the path of AAA games and fully voice-acted cinematic settings and what have you, will you still continue to make isometric CRPGs? And I got a very direct answer from both the community manager and a developer at Owlcat. The developer said, CRPGs are our core. And the community manager said, for sure, don't need to worry about that. We have plans spanning years for making CRPGs going forward into the future. And on top of that, the developer who answered the question initially told me it's a legitimate concern and a completely fair question to ask. So A, I feel vindicated in posing the question in the first place, and B, extremely relieved to hear that we will always be getting CRPGs from Owlcat, no matter how many AAA titles they may or may not produce. That is their core. And so I couldn't be happier in a gaming sense hearing that, because really we have such a dearth of quality studios out there. And especially in the CRPG realm, we just don't have a lot to begin with. And most of them are not amazing. And so Owlcat continuing to do what they do and improving incrementally with each game they release is just music to my ears. It's great. I think we're very fortunate to have a studio like Owlcat. They're very engaged. The fact that they just answered my questions right off the bat, that there was no bureaucracy involved. They simply responded to the questions of a content creator, i.e. gamer who plays their games, and an indication of why I think they're the best studio out there. Now, on top of all of that, they also basically said the same thing on Twitter to a question that was posed there. So I think we are pretty safe now, knowing that Owlcat will always be making CRPGs. That's not a concern. Now, obviously, we all have our tastes and what have you, so I would like to see more fantasy from them, more Pathfinder, something else, a different type of fantasy setting. I know a lot of people want to see Shadowrun or what have you. That would be great. And I do think long-term, that's in the pipeline. Now, one question that remains that somebody asked the other day, and I have not asked Owlcat and they're not saying anything about this, is will Owlcat ever make their own IP? And I do think that's in the works. That was suggested, I think, in an interview perhaps. But for the time being, I think it's safer and more realistic and reliable to work on pre-established IPs and bring them to life in a really cool CRPG and or action RPG in terms of the Expanse manner. And down the line, when Owlcat has more experience, more money, an even bigger team, I think they're already at 400 plus, then they might consider working on their own original IP. But for now, we're gonna have to wait for that. Anyway, I thought I'd let you know about this. This is great news. Some of the best news in the gaming world I heard in a long time. So rest easy, we will be eating well for years to come when it comes to Owlcat and their CRPGs. But as always, if you like my content and you like my takes, you can leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's much appreciated, as it really helps out the channel. And I'll check you out next time. Take care.